Good afternoon, guests. Welcome to the Breaking Prejudice, Reality and Idea of Gender Equality Symposium. I am the host, Gu Suyu. Although the call for global gender equality has been ongoing for decades, according to the World Economic Forum's 2024 report, it will still take 132 years to achieve full equality. Today, we will no longer repeat how far we still have, but instead ask, have we gone in the wrong direction? In the next 25 minutes, we will dive into this important issue related to social progress with four experts from different fields. Let's first invite academic researchers to start today's discussion.
Thank you to the host. And hello, everyone. I am an academic researcher in the field of gender equality. And I'm here today to use data and theory to reveal that there are still many gender inequality in society today. As the host said that, according to the World Economic Forum's 2024 Global Gender Gap Report, it will still take 132 years to achieve gender equality in the economic field, and the average income of women is only 63% of that of men, and women account of less than 32% of senior management positions, and the proportion in the technology field is ever lower at 25%. And this data reveal a key issues. In the economic field, the biggest obstacle of gender equality is not the difference in abilities, but the systematic unequal distribution of resources. And in terms of the workplace, our research found that women make up the majority of college students, but the proportion of executives is less than 30%. And data doesn't lie. True equality requires breaking structural shackles. What we need is not gradual improvement, but the systematic restructuring. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to the academic researcher for sharing the data. Next, let's invite social activists. Have you observed similar phenomena in your grassroots work? Can you share some specific cases?
Indeed, in our women's empowerment projects in Southeast Asia, we have found a thought-provoking phenomenon. Even if local girls have access to higher education opportunities, they still face serious employment discrimination after graduation. For example, in a rural area of Indonesia, we tracked and surveyed 20 college-educated women and found that 15 of them eventually returned to traditional family roles. What is even more worrying is that the local community generally believes that this is taken for granted. We attempted to promote women's participation in village management, but encountered opposition from 80% of the villagers. This fully demonstrates that policy changes alone cannot shake deeply ingrained cultural beliefs.
Mr. Yang, as a corporate HR, how do you view this gap phenomenon from education to workplace? What effective measures can companies take to promote gender equality?
Okay, this question is very crucial. As an HR officer, I see very see how gender bias show up the work, especially the glass ceilings. In our companies, women are 50% of venture level staff, but only 50% of the executive field. We made changes to fix this. First, we used the blind hirings, removing the genders and age from the resumes. That increased the females' hirings by 25%. Then we offer flexible work schedules, and females' promotions rose by 30%. These aren't just fair moves. They raise most business. A McKinsey study found gender diverse companies are 21% most profitable. Equality is not only the right things to do, the drive success. Thank you.
Ms. Wu, as a cultural commentator, how do you view this issue from a cultural perspective?
Today, I'd like to discuss something I've been observing closely: gender inequality in pop culture. Recent data, Gina Davis Institute 2023, showed that 18% of adolescents still confine women to domestic roles, while men overwhelmingly in dominating as a decision makers. These stereotypes don't just distort reality, they shape our collective consciousness in subtle yet powerful way. But here's hopeful part. Films like Barbie, with a boldly challenge with norm, proof with 1 billion box office that audiences create change. This convinces that media must break free from lazy storytelling and portray more infantile gender representation. As a culture observer, I firmly believe every challenge to stereotype make our culture healthier. Let's work together to create a more equitable narrative. Thank you.
Next, we will enter the Q&A session. Let's dive into several key contradictions. Firstly, may I ask Dr. Dunn why workplace equality is still difficult to achieve even after achieving educational equality?
This involves deep-seated social mechanism issues. Our research has found that evaluation criteria in the workplace often imply a male preference. For example, if men also exhibit the trait of decisiveness, they may more likely to receive evaluations of strong leadership, while women may be labeled as dominate. This implicit bias requires systematic organizational cultural change.
I
Mr. Yang?
completely agreed. Our company's 316 degrees in evaluations shows up the females managements generate a school higher demand in the affinity dimensions, but opposite is truly in strategic thinking dimensions. This is clearly inconsistent with the facts and facts bias in the evaluations system.
So I would like to ask social activists, what is the biggest obstacle to promoting gender equality at the grassroots level?
The most difficult thing is to change the mindset of those with vested interests. When we implemented the Women's Land Rights Project in Cambodia, we faced strong resistance from the local Restraint Church. They even spread rumors that this would disrupt family harmony. Later on, we adjusted our strategy by training the wives of male community leaders to influence decision making, which gradually opened up the situation.
This case is very inspiring. In fact, the media can play a role by reporting on the successful cases. To change social cognition, we are making a documentary about South Asian female entrepreneurs, hoping for breaking stereotype with a real story.
Sure.
In our
What
companies,
effective measures have companies taken to promote gender equality? How effective is it?
our companies has significantly improved the gender equalities through three measures. One, anonymous registration screenings has increased the females employment rate by 25%. Two, flexible work arrangements have increased the postpartum return rate to 90%. Three, a gender ratio in managements have been included in KPIs assessments. However, it faces challenges such as the social transformations of the traditional industries, and some measures becoming the formalities.
Cultural commanders. How should business organizations balance their interests with gender equality demands?
Data shows that 18% advertisements still refer gender in spare time, but the 1 billion box office of Barbie prove where there's a market for important content. The key is to one speak with data, such as a neutral products line, bring an average of 15% growth. 2. Avoid simple packaging women empowerment as marketing gimmicks.
Experts, please summarize today's core points in one sentence for us. Dr. Deng.
Gender equality requires a systematic change from institutional design to cultural concepts.
Grassroots change requires patience and strategy, but every small step is worth persisting in.
Enterprises should translate gender equalities into quantified management indications.
Cultural negativity not only reflect reality, but also shape it. We need to tell new gender story well.
Thank you to the four experts for their wonderful sharing. Today, we have jointly reviewed the multidimensional aspects of gender bias, from data to reality, from the workplace to the community, from institutions to culture. But more importantly, we have seen the past and hope for change. Let us remember that promoting gender equality is not the responsibility of a certain group, but the common mission of the whole society. Thank you for your participation, and we look forward to continuing to promote this important dialogue and practice in our respective fields.
Thank you.
Thank you.